hogs.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the hogs?
Mr. Evans' hogs?
That's it?
Sure. I saw them.
In the sty, huh?
No, they were loose. Running around loose.
Sure?
Sure. Running around making noise. And then I went up to the door. I knocked. Nobody answered. I went to the window. I looked in. And I...
Fine. Guess we'll write down about the hogs in my notebook. And I'll put it in my report.
With my name?
With your name. You'll probably get a letter of thanks from the colonel.
I will?
Sure thing. Well, Billy, be seeing you.
Hey, can I tell the kids I helped the ranger?
You want to?
Gee, you betcha.
Okay. You tell them I couldn't have done without you. After Billy told me what I wanted to know, Sheriff Larkins and I went back to the Evans Ranch. In the barn, we found 3 sacks of feed, 2 full and one with just enough taken out for 1 feeding of the hogs. Then I checked with the feed store in town.
Sure, Tom Evans bought all his feed here.
You got a record of the last time he was in, ma'am?
Sure have. Right here in the camp book.
Can I see it, ma'am?
Certainly can.
We get a letter of thanks.
Anything for a ranger.
I will?
Sure
It
thing.
is. Right here.
Well, Billy, be seeing you.
9th
Hey.
of July.
Can I tell the
That's
kids
right.
I helped the ranger?
Just
You want to?
6 days for
Gee,
Billy
betcha.
Stevens.
Okay.
6 days before.
You tell him I couldn't have done without
Here's
you.
time and ready. Got all the people together who's in that room. Put on the same boots they wore that day.
Oh, thanks, Sheriff. Now, ma'am, you're sure it was the night?
It was a 9.
After
Could
Billy
have
told
told
me
you
what I
that,
wanted to
Pearson.
know,
A couple other folks
Sheriff
saw
Larkins
Tom
and
Evans
I
here in
went back
town.
to the
Yeah, I
Evans
know.
Ranch.
So him and his family could have been
In the
killed
barn,
any
we
time
found
between the
3
9th
sacks
and the
of feed.
15th.
Yeah,
2 full.
ma'am, one was
Yes?
just enough taken
Tom
out
Evans
for
say anything?
1 feeding of the hogs.
In a
I
hurry?
checked with the feed store
Anything
in
like that?
town.
Sure,
Why,
Tom Evans bought all his
yes.
feed here.
I remember
You got
him
a
telling
record
me
of
he
the
had to
last
get back
time he was
with
in
feed. He was
Sure
all
have.
out.
Sure of that?
Right here
As
in the
sure as
camp
I'm
book.
standing
Can I
here.
see it,
Good.
ma'am?
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's go, Sheriff. We get a letter of
Sure
thanks.
hope to get him.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
will?
It is. Right here.
Well, Billy,
Everything fitting
Be
together.
Hey,
Murders were committed late on the
Can I tell
9th or
Sheriff
early the
Ranger?
morning of the
What?
10th.
6 days
Oh,
for
figure.
Tom Evans
Betcha.
bought feed on the
Okay.
9th, 3 bags of it.
You tell him I
He
couldn't
said he was
have
all
done
out of
without
feed
Time
at the
and ready.
ranch.
Got all
He had to
the
get
people
home to
together
feed the
who's in that
hogs.
room.
We
Put on
found
the
those
same
bags
boots they wore
and
that day.
Sheriff,
Oh,
2 of them
thanks,
unopened.
Yeah, and the third
With just sure it was the night.
It was a 9.
After Billy
told you that,
me
Pearson.
what I
Told him to fed the hogs on the 9th.
But on the 10th, he didn't.
So him and his family could have been
Yeah.
killed
Yeah.
any time between the
Murder.
9th and the
Got
15th.
something to go on
at last.
Ma'am, one was
Yes?
just enough taken
Tom
out.
Evans
it
say
is something.
anything? I guess so.
In a hurry.
I'm counting more on this, Sheriff.
Sure, Tom
some
Evans
mud.
bought all
Yes.
his
Earth that
feed
came
here.
from
remember him
someplace
telling me
else,
he had to get
carried
back
in
with
by
feed. He
the
was all
murder
out.
on his boot.
As sure as I'm standing
Can I
here.
see it, ma'am?
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's go,
See
Sheriff.
earth this color around here?
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
will?
It is.
I've seen this
Well,
kind.
Billy,
Wheeler
Fitting
County.
together.
Murders
That's
were
a long
committed
feed.
late on the
So much
9th
the
or
better.
early the morning of the 10th.
Come on,
Days
Sheriff.
for
Got a lot of
Tom
questions
Evans
to ask
bought
in
feed
a real
on the
short
9th.
space of
3
time to
bags
get them asked.
of it.
All out of We found those bags, Sheriff. 2 of them unopened. And the third with just sure it was the night.
Didn't sound or look like much.
The
Meantime, the killer might have made a
Days
tackle.
Got a lot of questions
Evans
to ask
bought
in a
feed
real
on
short
the
space of
next
time to
bag.
get them
Got
asked.
himself lost.
All out of in the big city. We found those bags, Sheriff. 2 of them unopened.
Meantime,
And the third
with
with just
the
sure it was
captain,
the night.
Clay Travis. He wasn't sound or look like much.
There's not much to go on, Chase.
Meantime, the killer might have made a
Work on it. Got a lot of questions to ask in a real short space of time to get them asked.
Anyway, all out in the big city.
The way I figured, the killer was surprised.
He wasn't
grabbed
sound or
his.
look like much.
There's not much to go on, Chase.
Work on it. Got a lot of questions to ask in a real short space of time to get them asked.
Anyway, all out in the big
The way I figured, the killer was surprised.
He wasn't
grabbed
sound or
his.
look like much.
There's not much
Wheaties
to go on.
presents Joe Ray and the Tales on a Short On last night, transpired really with another in the Wheaties big parade of exciting half-hour presentations.
The way I figured, the killer was surprised. 1.
speed and rolls through the gathering dusk.
Southwest.
Rangers. On stage tonight, transcribed from Hollywood, another in the Wheaties big parade of exciting half-hour presentations. Tales of the Texas Rangers, starring Joel McRae as Ranger Pearson. Texas, more than 260,000 square miles. And 50 men who make up the most famous and oldest law enforcement body in North America. From the files of the Texas Rangers come these stories based on fact. Only names, dates, and places are fictitious for obvious reasons. The events themselves are a matter of record. Case for tonight, the White Elephant.
It is January 16th, 1950. The time, 6:28 p.m. A freight train just outside of a West Texas town gains speed and rolls through the gathering dusk. Inside a gondola car, a hobo crouches in a corner as the brakeman comes toward him.
All right, Bo, this is where you get off.
Now, listen, pal, just let me get to the next town. Just
I said this is where you get off.
But we're moving.
Yeah, you get on where we was moving, you can get off. Now, come on, or I'll dust the top of your head.
Now, listen, don't do it, Hutch.
Get on your feet like this.
No, let go.
You want to get tough, huh?
I told you to leave me alone, pal.
Slug me, will you?
Oh, you ain't getting me. I'm coming.
Tales of the Texas Rangers will continue in just a moment.
You take a nice, ripe, plump kernel of wheat, and you roll it out flat, and you toast it a little. And what have you got? A Wheatie. Do that over and over and over again. Do that enough times, and pretty soon you have a whole bowl full of Wheaties, and you can sit down to breakfast. Now, of course, you and I know not many people go to all that work to get their breakfast Wheaties. They just tip up that big Wheaties box and let those crisp little flakes tumble into the bowl. And you know what? When you do that, you get the very same 100% whole wheat goodness and energy that you'd get if you rolled out your own Wheaties flakes kernel by kernel. And the best tip I can give you is to tip the Wheaties into your own bowl first thing in the morning and see how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11.
At 2:55 a.m. of the morning following the freight train incident, a rancher named Banker noticed a small coupe parked on the shoulder of the road. It bore Oklahoma license plates. Banker turned his spotlight on the car, saw a man slumped down on the driver's seat. A half hour later, Sheriff Caldwell, notified by Banker, began investigation of the murder and called in the Texas Rangers. Ranger Jace Pearson was assigned to the case. And a few hours later, Pearson, Banker, and Sheriff Caldwell stood at the scene. Pearson listened to Banker.
It was just about 3 this morning when I saw it, Ranger.
How come you were driving along this road that late?
I've been to a ranchers meeting in Almira's. I was going to spend the night there and changed my mind.
Did you take this road when you left for Almira's?
Yes, sir.
What time?
Yesterday morning, about 7:30.
And then this car came here sometime between 7:30 yesterday morning and 3 this morning.
I guess so.
You never saw the dead man before, huh?
Was the first time I laid eyes on him.
All right, Mr. Banker. You can go.
If you need me, I'll be home.
No identification on the body at all, huh, Sheriff?
Nothing in the pockets. Picked clean as a whistle.
Anybody else been around the car?
Nope, deputy kept his eyes on it.
Car's facing west. Going west when it was stopped. Tire tracks on the shoulder tell that.
Mm-hmm.
Blood on the seat.
Yep. .38 bullet done it.
38.
Might be a police special.
Banker got one?
Banker, but...
Just asking, for now. You see,
You see something?
Look here, Sheriff.
Huh?
Set of tracks leading up to the car. Ordinary shoes, not boots. Heel marks are too broad for boots.
Yeah, looks like it. Look at this one.
Sole print with a hole in it. Now look. The prints lead from that way, north, up to the car. A little scuffle, and the prints turn back north.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, Sheriff, somebody walked up to the car, stood there, then turned and went back north. Oh, and here's something else.
Grease. Looks like grease.
Smeared on the car door. Same side footprints are on.
Grease might be from the car.
Oh, looks too stiff and heavy for that.
Yeah. What about it coming from a freight train, Jace?
Why?
Well, there's tracks about a mile north of here. Freights use the siding to pull on when passengers got to pass.
Maybe it all ties in, Sheriff. A shoe with a hole in it, grease, freight siding. Yeah, might be worth going after.
Where do we start?
Here at the car first. I'm going to check it over inch by inch. Meantime, you get hold of a freight schedule. I'll meet you at your office. When I checked the car inside and out, I found a few things that were interesting and a little puzzling. I sent a sample of grease to the laboratory for analysis and took plaster casts of the footprints. Then went on to Sheriff Caldwell's office. He had the information I'd requested.
Here it is, Jace. Schedule of freights went through yesterday.
How many?
3 of them.
You can check those, all right. Of course, we might be sending the dogs up the wrong tree.
Looks like a hobo to me.
Yeah. Let me see the dead man's fingerprints.
Sure, here you are.
These match with some of the prints in the car, see? Closed delta.
Yeah. How about those others you got?
Picked these up on the door that had the grease on it, smeared all over. Couple clear enough to use, only...
Only what, Jace?
You know, there wasn't a single print on the steering wheel. Seems like the dead man's prints ought to be on it.
Gloves?
I didn't find any gloves on him, nor in the car.
Yeah. By the way, I got a call out if any hobo picked up or seen on those trains.
Good. Now, I found these tucked under the sun visor in front of the driver's seat. Gasoline receipts made out to Carl Thompson.
Oh, that'll save a lot of checking.
We'll forward the dead man's prints anyway. That steering wheel bothers me.
Excuse me, Jace. Sheriff Caldwell. Oh, yeah. Good. Hold him. We'll be there as soon as we can make it. Something else, Jace. Brakeman in one of those freights we've been checking has a story. Some hobo slugged him and jumped.
Okay, let's go. The brakeman took us to the approximate spot the hobo jumped off the freight. Sheriff Caldwell and I picked up the trail and followed it by horse. We hoped to apprehend the suspect before he could reach a town and lose himself and us. After 6 hours, we stopped.
What's the matter, Jace?
Tracks are different. Come here and take a look.
Different?
Yeah, look. The right print's a little deeper, favoring his left a little.
Hurt himself, huh?
Must have twisted his leg when he took the jump off the freight. Kept getting worse. Sat down here, smoked a cigarette. Here's the butt.
He ain't going to make such a good time with a bum leg. We've been traveling at a steady trot.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let's get going. The suspect's trail showed increased favoring of his left leg. His progress became slower. More and more often he stopped to rest, and the trail became fresher and fresher. Evidence in a deserted shack showed suspect had rested there for quite a while. We picked up the trail again. We're getting close, Sheriff.
How do you know?
Noticed something just now. Take a look at these prints.
Same as the ones we've been following.
Not quite.
Hole in the right shoe.
It's not that. I'm talking about this anthill he crushed.
Well, what about it?
Quite a few of the prints had anthills in them, crushed and rebuilt.
So?
Ants start working on a new hill when the old one's been tramped down. This one's so fresh they haven't had time to rebuild.
Hey, that's right. He can't be far off.
Guess we better leave the horses tied up here, Sheriff, and start moving on foot. 11:15 that evening, we found the man we were hunting. He was asleep. He gave us no trouble, and he denied anything and everything about the crime. We took him back, and I kept questioning him, but he stuck to his story.
I never was there. I didn't do it.
Ever own a gun? 38 Police Special?
I told you 100 times I never owned no kind of gun.
How'd you take all that skin off your arm?
Don't know. Fell, maybe.
You got that while you were running away. When you jumped off the freight, after you slugged the brakeman.
No.
Grease on your jacket. How'd it get there?
Yeah, maybe off in the freight.
Sure. That car we showed you, the one you said you'd never seen before.
That's the truth.
Is it? Hold up your right foot.
What?
Hold it up. Hole in the right shoe.
What of it?
Here's a plaster cast. Cast at the print of the scene of the murder. Take a good look.
But I wasn't there, I tell you.
Ever hear of fingerprints?
Oh, sure.
Here are yours. And here's a set found at the crime. They match. You still say you weren't there?
I didn't kill nobody.
Let me see your hands. When'd you wash them last?
I don't know. Maybe a couple of days ago.
You know we can tell if you fired a gun.
I never had no gun.
Did you rob the man in the car?
No.
Look at me. You were there, weren't you? We can prove it.
Well, all right, I was there. But I didn't kill him.
Why'd you lie?
Well, I was scared.
If you're innocent, you don't have to be scared.
Look, Ranger, I got a couple of bag wraps.
That all?
Hey, sure.
We can check that, too.
All right. I got a couple of wraps for pinching stuff. Nothing big.
Now, look. Tell me exactly what you did.
Well, I come in off a freight. I was walking across when I seen the car. I figured it was funny, something funny.
Why?
Well, car parked like that. Then I walked over, seen the fella in there. He was dead. I beat it, hopped the freight.
That all?
You know what else up to now.
Did you get in the car at
No,
all?
sir.
Did you touch the body or take anything from it?
I swear, Range, I didn't.
Did you touch the steering wheel and then wipe it off?
Wipe it? No. What for? Look, I tell you,
Jace?
Yeah, Sheriff.
Come here, will you?
Sure. You stay put.
I got no place to go.
Here's all the dope and the murdered man, Thompson. Come in just now.
Carl Thompson, resident Tulsa, Oklahoma, traveling salesman for Prince Extract Company. This checked?
Double.
Tallies with the gasoline receipts.
Mm-hmm. What about him?
The hobo?
Yeah.
I think the only crime he committed was failure to report what he saw. His fingerprints were all over the outside of the one door of that car, and none inside. Seems to me if he thought of cleaning up the inside, he'd have done the same outside.
Yeah, looks like it.
We'll give him the paraffin test anyway and see if he's fired a gun lately.
And if he didn't?
Start all over. And start with that clean steering wheel.
In just a moment, we continue with Tales of the Texas Rangers, starring Joel McCrea as Ranger Jace Pearson.
I guess nobody gets much of a taste treat out of taking their calcium and iron and phosphorus or their vitamins straight. But you simply have to have all those things to keep feeling good. And you should have them first thing in the morning, too. Because morning's the time you do most of your big day's work. That's when you really need the energy. You see, morning is the time when you really should...
Wait a minute, Frank. Why don't you just tell them this? See how Wheaties at 7 can help at 11.
Why, you took the words right out of my mouth, of course. Wheaties at 7. Because Wheaties have all those vitamins and minerals. That's how Wheaties give you the zip it takes to feel eager and ready for anything all morning long. Whether you drive a truck or plow a field or if you're just plain busy with a multitude of household duties. And Wheaties do you another big favor.